Man, oh man. So it seems like winter kind of just, or I'm sorry, summer just flew by, fall. Now we're already here in the winter. Come on, guys. Well, here's my winter outlook for this year. It's going to be more of an analysis than anything. Just that's my style. I'm not one to post the maps too much. I don't totally believe in that, and I just believe in the science of weather more than anything. But I will, if you subscribe to me, I will do more, probably more weather maps throughout the winter and whatnot. But this is just a little Halloween analysis slash forecast slash outlook of this winter. Cheers! This is my coffee. Maybe you're drinking hot cocoa. Getting into the festive spirit. And we're coming up to Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. We're just in the fall spirit. So cheers! Tis the season. All right, so let's get started. So. This is our surface air temperature outlook for December through February, and this is the globe. This is the Jamstick weather model, and the weather model is a long range weather model. It's, in my opinion, one of the best. And what this is forecasting is, well, this is the forecast for winter, whole globe now. And you can see we are, let me just explain a few things to you. See that red blotch right there over the North Pole, kind of near Hudson Bay, Canada? That's, in my opinion, a negative NAO, which essentially means that there's going to be a big high pressure near the North Pole this winter that's going to cause blocking. I think that's a given. So this doesn't make sense to me totally. What I think is I think this cold air that you see right below that block, right below Hudson Bay, is going to be a little bit more amplified, and we're going to look at that in NOAA's forecast. I believe they're more in line with the CPC model. So I don't totally agree with this at all. And we're going to take a look at that. But let's take a look at the precip first in this model. And this is interesting, and this I don't agree with also because I believe this winter, because we're going to see a La Nina and we're going to see a warm PDO, and with the combination of warm and cold air masses mixing together, I believe we're going to see a lot of instability in the atmosphere, and that's going to create a lot of friction. Because when you get, if you've ever taken even a grade school science course, there's warm air and then there's cold air, and when you get those colliding together you see a lot of just explosiveness. I mean, that's just almost like physics 101. I've never taken physics, but anyways, so this is forecasting a very dry eastern part of the USA. A lot of moisture here in Canada though. But again, I think the jet stream, I don't think this is accurate because I think the jet is going to be a lot more amplified in places like the central USA, places like Minnesota, places like the northern plains, like the Northwest, above all, because the Northwest is going to be in that triple dip La Nina this year, which we haven't seen since about 2011. That was one of the years. Remember the winter of 2010 and 11, where we had just a bunch of blizzards for New York City, and so on and so on and so forth. So the bottom line is, this winter is going to be a very cold and snowy one, and we'll get more to that in a second. Let's take a look at our PSU EWAL NARR site just to get a scope of what I think the jet stream is going to do this winter based off of when we had our last triple dip La Nina. Because when we had, let me see, 2010, 11, and 12, I believe that was our last triple dip La Nina. So we're going to go with that Christmas Day blizzard of 2010 that hit New York City and absolutely demolished them in a joyful way because it was Christmas Day, and I think a lot of people like snow on Christmas Day, even if you're a Scrooge and normally hate it. So let's take a look at that. I believe it was actually Christmas Eve. No, maybe it was a few days before. It was let's see, Christmas. Oh wow, okay. It was a little bit before that. Let's see, 19th, 20th. Hmm. Okay, so I believe this was the setup for the storm, but I think the Northeast is going to also see in on this winter. I just have a feeling. I'm not going to lie. But again, science shows that the Northwest and the Northern Plains are going to get the most action in terms of snow this year. I'd not be surprised if the Northeast gets in on a few big snows this year. Again, here's this big storm system that kind of pummeled through New York City. It was a bombogenesis storm, however you pronounce that. So it was a storm that just blew up at the last moment, it kind of amplified. Let's take a look though. I'm interested now. I want to see that. Let's go look at the 19th. So here, originally this storm was right by Florida, and then look at this. It just kind of really amplifies a lot. Um, so I think the Northeast will see snow this year. I think they'll see about two major systems in the Northeast, and that can include New York City, Boston, Baltimore. But I think let's take a look at a few other images here. Switching gears a little bit, let's talk about the PNA. The PNA is the Pacific North American pattern, basically, and when it's negative, you get a lot of cold towards the western USA. And when it's positive, you get a lot of warmth towards the western USA and ridging and high pressure and dry air. I think we're going to see a negative PNA this year due to the triple dip La Nina, because when you get all that cold air coming off the Pacific Ocean, it's just going to be, you're going to naturally see a negative PNA. It's going to induce that negative PNA. So basically, with saying that, I think we're going to see a very snowy and cold um, west this year. I want to take a look at our NOAA seasonal outlook because this is key because I think NOAA is a good forecasting company, number one. But let's see. So we have for January, February, and March, again, a lot of cold. And this is a very a lot colder than their previous run, where they had not so much cold here in the northern plains. So this is not your this is a very cold winter. We're talking about nearly two deviations below for a 3 month period. That's very significant. Because if you're talking about two deviations normal for a day or two, that's not really significant. But when you're talking about a whole 2 month period, that's a relatively bigger scenario where you're bound to get possibly a month of for example in Minnesota it might be negative 25 for a day or two or three, and then maybe go up to zero and then down to negative 30 whatnot. So this is very significant. But I think the key this winter is where's the snow going to fall? And if I want to draw that on this map right here, I think, the number one is the number one region is going to be the Pacific Northwest, because you're just going to see a lot of storm systems come off from the Pacific Ocean. As I said, the jet stream is going to be very volatile this winter because of the La Nina mixing with the warm PDO, but also the northern plains. Although I do think that's going to be difficult in a way, but I think it's going to be cold enough that we're going to see a lot of snow in the northern plains this year. That could be a jackpot region. Number three is I want to say, I mean, just looking at this map, it's looking like that cold air is going to set up a big region of possibly snow and ice, and this could be another big region right around Arkansas, Missouri, Nebraska, and Oklahoma, maybe towards southern Indiana. See right between that red and those blue colors, that's where we could see another plethora of snow set up this year, a common jet stream track this year, if you will. So that's about it. I just wanted to do a little update. I don't really do a whole bunch of stuff for winter anymore or long range forecasting in terms of like maps and all that. I kind of stick towards the general analysis of things because that's kind of my go to now. I'm more into the science of weather and the why behind the what. So I hope you learn a few things too. And Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel for more long range weather content. Peace.